Hello, we are starting with section 3.2 today. In this, we are going to learn about polynomial function. What is definition of a polynomial function? Let n be a whole number. an minus 1, an minus 2 and so on until a naught be the real numbers where an has to be non-zero, that is for sure. Then the function defined by this kind of function an x raised to power n plus an minus 1 x raised to power n minus 1 plus an minus 2x minus n minus 2 and so on until a naught is called the polynomial function of degree n. So let's take an example. Say we have 4x5 minus 3x cube plus 2x square plus 8x minus 9. Now, this is an example of a polynomial function of degree 5. So, the degree of this function is 5. 4 is called the leading coefficient. This whole term will be called leading term. The term which gives you the degree, which is the term with the highest power of the variable, is called the leading term. This term without the variable is called the constant term. Okay, so this is an example of a polynomial function. If the polynomial's degree is 5, obviously its coefficient has to be 0, because if its coefficient becomes 0, then the degree will be next lower number, right? Because this term will become 0. Let's take another example. Say we have negative 8x7 plus 3x9 plus 2x3 power 3 plus 5x squared negative x plus 2. Now, if you notice, this polynomial is not in the standard format. Standard format, the highest power term, highest power of x term should be written the first. So, we have to write that whole power with everything comes up front. Then the lowest power, decreasing order of the powers of the variable. Okay, next will come this, then will come this, 5x square minus x plus 2. So this is the standard format. So this is still a polynomial function, but before you start figuring out the degree and the leading term, you have to write it in the standard form. Standard form means the decreasing order of the powers of the variable. Here 3x9 is the leading term. Okay, this here is leading term. The term with the highest power of the variable is called leading term. The degree of this polynomial would be 9. The highest power of the variable in the polynomial is called 9. The leading coefficient in this case is equal to 3. 3 is the coefficient of the leading term. Okay, so that is the basic terminology. Now we need to learn about the leading term test for the end behavior of your polynomial. So consider a polynomial of degree n. We have this polynomial. The polynomial's graph, I really don't know anything about polynomial's graph right now. I'm just talking about the end behavior. The leading term test is for the end behavior of the graph, meaning on the left side of the graph, what is it doing? Is it going up or is it going down? On the right side of the graph, is it going up or is it going down? In between, you see how I drew this dotted line? That just I'm trying to say I don't know what's happening in between. I am just concerned about right now the end behavior. What is happening on the left side? Is the graph going up or down? That depends upon your the leading term. So the leading term test depends upon the leading term. What is the leading term? A n raised to power x raised to power n. A n is the leading coefficient. N is the degree of the polynomial, right? Now, there are two cases for n. N, the degree, can be even number or n, the degree can be odd number. Then the coefficient, the leading coefficient can be positive. So if n is even, the degree is even, and the leading coefficient is positive, the graph goes up on the left and up on the right. So the graph goes up on the left and up on the right. In between, what happens, we are not really sure. It can be like this, or it can be like this, or something like that, right? So we are not sure what happens in between, but we are sure on the left end the graph will be going up, and on the right end the graph will be going up. If n is even and the leading coefficient is negative, on the left side the graph goes down and the right side graph goes down too. Next, what happens when n is odd? If the n is odd and the leading coefficient is positive, the graph goes down on the left side and the graph goes up on the right side. Similarly, the last one, if n is odd and an is negative, the graph goes up on the left and down on the right. Now, you can either remember this table. Okay, let me show you. For example, we have this polynomial function. What is the leading term? The term with the highest power. So, leading term is equal to negative 4x raised to power 5. Degree is 5, which is odd, and leading coefficient is negative 4, which is negative, right? That means, which case is it? N is odd and the coefficient is negative. That means it should be up on the left and down on the right. So using the table, we can say it goes up on left and down on right side. So the graph will be something like that, right? But sometimes students don't like to learn the table, don't like to remember the table. It's a lot of information. Okay, what will you do? I don't like to remember the table, so I like to look at my leading term. This is my leading term. Let's look at the graph. Say this is your graph. What happens on the left side? X approaches to negative infinity. So x is a negative number. Negative raised to power 5 would be a negative number times negative 4, right? Negative times negative is what? Positive. So the graph is up on the positive, means it graph is going up, right? The graph is going up in the left side, up in the left side. Now let's look at right. X is approaching to positive infinity. That means x is a positive large number. This is my leading coefficient. X is a positive large number. This is negative. Negative times positive is what? Negative. That means the graph has to go down on the right hand side. So what is the end behavior? Left, up, down on the right side. Let's look at one more example. We have g of x is equal to 1 by 4 x 2x minus 3 cube x plus 4 square. Now this is not a regular polygon. We'll have to simplify it all to find the leading term. I don't want to do all that work. So what I do is leading term is equal to the leading term of each of these components and then multiply them. The first one, it is 1 by 4x times, in this one it would be 2x cube, right? That would be the term with the highest power. In the last one it would be x square. So in total we have 1 by 4x times 8x cube times x square. So we know that 4 can cancel 8 at 2. So we would have 2 times x raised to power 6. So my leading term is 2 times x raised to power 6. Let's see the end behavior. You can do it from the table. Just check when the degree is even and the coefficient is positive. I'm showing it using the graph. On the left hand side, when x approaches to negative infinity, how does the leading term behave? This is positive. A negative number raised to power an even number has to be positive too. Positive times positive is positive, so the graph goes up on the left hand side. On the right hand side, x approaches to positive infinity. What happens to my leading term? This is positive clearly. A positive number raised to power 6 will also be positive. Positive times positive is positive. So the graph goes up on the right hand side. I am not sure what happened in between, but I am clear that the graph goes up on the left and up on the right. That is how we can figure out the end behavior. Let's look at the table. What does the table tell me? N was even, so this case, and the coefficient was positive. So the graph goes up on the left, up on the right. So we were right. So you can either use the table for any problem or up on left and up on right. The end behavior of the polynomial function. Next we have zeros of the polynomial function and multiplicities of the zero. What is zero? Consider any polynomial function y is equal to f of x, the values of x in the domain of the function for which the function is equal to 0. So, those values of x for which the function is 0 is called the zeros of the function. These are basically real solutions or the root of the equation f of x equal to 0. For example, if we have f of x is equal to say x minus 2 times x minus 3, this is a polynomial, then the zeros, if we want to find zeros, then we have to write f of x equal to 0, meaning x minus 2 times x minus 3 equal to 0. What is the x value? X can be 2 or x can be 3. So these are zeros of your function. Okay. Let's take this example here. This is a polynomial function. The function is given to be, if you can read, x cube x square minus 9x minus 9. So they put f of x equal to 0. They solved this equation. They said x is negative 3, negative 1 and 3. So when they plotted the graph, these are the points where the graph intersects x-axis. So the zeros are also x-intercepts of the graph. Okay. And the next topic is about the multiplicity. If a polynomial function has a factor x minus c that appears exactly k number of times, we call that c is the zero of multiplicity k. Okay, that means it is, say for example, in this question, 2 and 3 are zeros of multiplicity 1 because their factor only comes once. Let's take another example. Say we have f of x is equal to x square times x minus 3 times x minus 4 cube. If you find the zeros here, we'll have to put f of x is equal to 0. Then we will get x is equal to 0, x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 4. But x equal to 0 is coming from x, right? And it is repeating 2 times. So x equal to 0 is a 0 of f of x with multiplicity of 2 because that factor is repeating 2 times. X is equal to 3 is a 0 of this function with multiplicity of 1. x is equal to 4 is the zero of this function with multiplicity of how much? How many times x minus